Deeds. A deed is a written document that transfers ownership of real property. Now, we have three types of deeds that we generally see in the United States that they're fairly commonly used. The first one is the general warranty deed. Second one is what we call the special warranty deed. Sometimes special is, instead of that word, we see the word limited used. And then the third kind is a quitclaim deed, not as common as the other two. So let's take a closer look at the first one, the general warranty deed. All right, the general warranty deed, we call it a warranty deed because it contains a warranty. And what is a warranty? A warranty is an assurance of some sort, some level of quality that is associated with the product or the transaction. And in this case, we're talking about the quality of the title, exactly how good the title is. Is it good, marketable? Are there any conflicting opposing claims to the title of the property? So that's what this warranty is looking at here. And there are typically going to be several warranties within this broad warranty that we're talking about. First one is an Old English concept called season, or in today's language, probably referring to just the right, a warranty that there is that right to possess the land, that there is that right of ownership, that when I do convey this to you, you are the owner. You will have a right to possess the property, as I do now. The second right is, well, the second warranty is I've got a right to convey the property to you. I am warranting, I am assuring you that I do have that right to transfer it to you, and once I transfer it to you, you'll have that right to similarly transfer in the future. There are no encumbrances, that I am transferring this property, conveying this property to you free of encumbrances. Now, virtually every property that we convey is going to have some sort of encumbrances. So in the deed that we will ultimately prepare, there will be some sort of clause that makes reference to those encumbrances that are perhaps on record in some way. But the idea is that I haven't put any encumbrances on this land that I'm not otherwise disclosing to you. There's this warranty of further assurance. If there's something that I have left undone to complete this transaction, I assure you that I will sign that paper, I will deliver that document, I will make that correction to this deed if there are any mistakes. So that's a warranty of further assurance. And then finally, I am warranting to you that you will have quiet enjoyment of this property, that there's not going to be any conflicting claims to it, that this will be yours. Now here's the deal with warranties. If you violate a warranty that you've made, you're liable. So the grantor is the one that's making these warranties here, and so if the grantor breaches any of these warranties here, it is the grantor that is liable in a potential lawsuit. So let's look at the effect of this warranty, and also at the same time compare it to what we call the limited warranty deed rather than a general warranty deed. Over here I've got general warranty deed, and on this side of the panel I've got the limited or special warranty deed. Now in the middle I've got running what we might call a chain of title. Owner A transfers to B, who transfers to C, who later conveys to D, who later conveys to E, and now E is planning on conveying the land to F. When E gives a general warranty deed to F, E is saying that the title that I'm passing to you, Mr. F, is free and clear of any defects that I created during my term of ownership or that anybody else created going back many years prior to my ownership. I am saying, I'm representing to you, I'm warranting to you, there's no defect in title that occurred anywhere along here. And if there is, I am responsible for you to making it right, declaring it or paying damages. Now, let's contrast that with what's going on with the limited warranty deed, what some people call special warranty deed. Don't be fooled by that word special. There's nothing special about it as far as being extra quality, because as you're going to see here, a limited or special warranty deed has a lesser quality warranty than does the general warranty deed. So this limited warranty deed says that E is saying, F, the title that I'm giving you is free and clear of any defects that I created, but I'm not going to make that representation for anybody who owned it prior to me. Well, which one would you rather have, the general or the limited? Yeah, the general, because it covers a much greater period of time. Let's talk about the last one now, quitclaim deed. You won't see this all that often. Usually the general warranty deed is the most common, and sometimes we will accept a limited warranty deed. Quitclaim deed, you won't see all that often, but occasionally you might. What's going on here is that a quitclaim deed does transfer the title, whatever title or interest that the grantor happens to have. However, the grantor is not making any promises or warranty as to what they really do own. So in essence, if you want to do a translation or a restating of what the quitclaim deed is saying, it is saying, if I do have some interest in the property, it's yours. But I'm not saying that I do. But if I do, it's yours. That's basically a quitclaim deed. So what's the best kind of deed to have? Clearly, the general warranty deed. So, what are the requirements of a deed? You'll see some similarities here. If you know anything about contracts, you'll see some similarities to elements of a contract here. Well, the first thing is, it has to be in writing. A deed to real property must be in writing. That's because real estate transactions must be evidenced by a writing and signed by the person that's going to be bound by that writing. That's according to the statute of frauds. Now, in contracts, it is possible to have some oral agreements, not with a deed to real property, must be in writing. Secondly, you've got to have a competent person signing that deed. Who signs the deed? The grantor. So the grantor must be a competent individual. And if we're talking about a natural person, that grantor must be of proper legal age, which is 18 years, and also must be mentally competent, must have legal capacity. There's that mental element there. Now, what about an artificial person like a corporation or a partnership or maybe even an executor or a guardian? When you're talking about those people who are not acting on their own behalf, but rather on behalf of someone else, like an artificial person or an estate, there we're concerned not with mental capacity or age, but rather with authority. Does this person have authority to sign that agreement, that contract? We also have to identify the grantee. Who is the grantee? That deed has to state who that person will be who's getting the property. There must be words of conveyance. Now, no special words are required, but typically we see words such as grant, convey, and assign. Those will get the job done. And when you use those words, you're generally implying the general warranty that we're talking about. Property description. The property that you're conveying by this deed also has to be adequately described. And that property description will probably be one of several different types. It may be a platted description, like or a lot and block, like in a platted subdivision. It may be what we call a meets and bounds description, where the property perimeter is described by landmarks and compass directions and distances. And it may be, in some states, that property description may be based on a governmental rectangular survey. And we don't use that system in Texas. We generally use these other two. But deeds in many parts of the country are based on a description from that governmental rectangular system. A deed must have consideration. What's consideration? It's that thing of value that's exchanged for the deed. And quite typically, we're going to see considerations expressed in terms of cash, a nominal cash value, such as $10 and other good and valuable consideration. Sometimes you'll see a gift deed that will say, for love and affection as the consideration. Doesn't matter what the consideration is, it's just that the deed has to express that there was some sort of consideration. We don't worry about whether that consideration was adequate. The deed must be signed by the grantor, not so much by the grantee. Not too often do we see a deed signed by the grantee. Some states will require it, Texas does not, but there may be an instance where the grantee might sign a deed. The deed must be witnessed or acknowledged by a notary before it can be recorded. We have to authenticate, we have to validate that this grantor's signature really was the valid signature of that grantor. And we do that through witnessing and or through a notary public signing an acknowledgement that that grantor was in fact the person that signed the deed. And then of course the deed is not complete, the conveyance is not complete until it is delivered to the grantee. You have to deliver the deed to the grantee. If it's not delivered to the grantee, the conveyance hasn't been completed. So that's an overview of deeds, the type of deeds, and the requirement of deeds.